Welcome, everyone, to episode 1 of the Penciled In podcast. Today, Lindsay and I are going to be talking to the amazing and gorgeous Carolyn Craggs. Hi, Carolyn. How are you doing today?
Hi, Carolyn.
Hello, you.
So, well, we're still a little new at this. We want to get to know you. We welcomed you onto this podcast because you do, of course, obviously, some gorgeous artwork, and you've worked with sketch cards, but I think you also do a lot of other things as well. So we'll start at the beginning. Who exactly are you?
I live in the UK. I live with my partner and his son at the moment. We've got a little baby on the way imminently, so if I have to go, that's why.
Oh my gosh.
2 cats as well, one has been in and the other one might come in, so I'll stop the interview. It's just because I need you to meet one of them. So I live in the northeast of England. I used to be a lawyer for 17 years.
That's legit.
And I finished doing that about a year ago, just to concentrate on art more, which wasn't a decision taken lightly. It was more that I refocused my priorities around, my personal life and health and all the rest of it after I had a fairly severe health scare a few years ago, and it just seemed like it was the right time to do it all. So
I imagine that being a lawyer is a really high pressure job.
Yeah,
quite stressful.
Yeah, you can't ever really switch off from it, and a lot of paperwork, a lot of hours, and when you've had a health scare, that's kind of the things that you get told you shouldn't have in your life. And don't
get rid of stress.
Don't do that. And it's just like, it's easier said than done. And I stuck with it for about a year after I'd recovered, and I thought, this is just doesn't feel right to me. I feel like I want to do the art thing, don't have time for it because I'm doing this, and it's not really where my passion lies, let's say. So so I just thought, let's just see what happens.
Well, with a baby on the way as well, it'll be good for you working from home, doing art from home, just getting getting little bits and bobs done while he or she is asleep, and
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Lindsay, hopefully sleeping.
Hopefully.
He's sleeping well. So yeah, we'll see.
So how many years have you actually been working in art in general, and when did you find your way into sketch cards?
Well, to be totally honest, I hadn't picked up a pencil or anything maybe until about 7 years ago, and that was from finishing school. 16, I hadn't really done anything at all. But I think what it was that my parents had found all of my old materials when I was at school. It'll be different in your country, Ingrid, but over here, when you do your GCSE artwork, and my dad had found all this stuff in the loft and went, here's your GCSE art project.
Did you have a red tin of watercolors?
I don't think I did. I had a tin of Derwent graphite pencils, which I still have.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which are like this big.
I used to have Derwent pencils. I can't even find them anymore.
I can get you some, like everywhere here.
Oh.
Caran d'Ache. I did have some Caran d'Ache gouache set, which were all dried,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And anyway, I just sort of, there was just one morning I thought, I'm just gonna draw something. I just feel like having a go. And I did 3 portraits of the Wizard of Oz. I did, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion. And I put them on Facebook. And one of the girls I used to work with, she's like, I'm a massive Wizard of Oz fan. Can I buy them off you? was like, oh, yeah. All right. So I thought, oh, all right then, well, cool. And didn't think anything more of it. And I thought, oh, I better go, on Instagram. People was like, oh, Instagram, there's loads of artists on Instagram. So I joined Instagram, posted some more stuff on there, and just got to know different people. And one of the first people I got to know who was into sketch cards was Matt Applegate. I'm
Yes.
still good friends with. And he said, oh, I've started doing the Topps cards for the Star Wars brand. And I was like, that's really cool, because you get to draw all the Star Wars characters. And I don't know about you two, but I was brought up on all that sort of stuff. So it's like, oh.
I was 14 when I watched New Hope.
Well, there you are. So, it was oh, that would be really cool. But I just thought, oh, I've only just started doing this. I'm not going to be able to do that, because I've only just picked a pencil up a couple of years ago. And Matt said, oh, why don't you just contact Topps and do some, sketch card size drawings. This was like 2017. I thought, oh, I'll sit and I'll not hear anything. So I didn't hear anything for months. And then I got an invite to do masterwork, but I was out of the country. So I was like, there's no point, don't have time. I thought, oh, I've blown it. And then I think it was The Last Jedi series 1 maybe came out, and I got another invitation. I thought, okay. So that was like my first go at doing sketch cards.
Wow, cool.
It was really random, just like.
And what were your thoughts of what did you think of working on sketch cards at that time in 2017? Because it's pretty different than when it was way back in 2006 and something. What were your thoughts on having to draw quickly and the pay rate and all that stuff?
I know that that pay rate is, well, not too dissimilar from company to company, especially the bigger companies, Topps, Upper Deck, and so on. But I wasn't that bothered at the time. I thought, I just want to draw these characters and I want to draw these people. It's good practice. And I think drawing on such a small scale, when I was used to drawing or painting on, big canvases and things, I thought, well, this is, something different. And I think it really taught me to pay more attention to detail. I don't know if you two found that.
Absolutely agree. 100% agree, because you're focusing on such a small part that when you go to a bigger picture, you're still focusing on a small, and you get so much more in than before I started doing it.
When you go back to doing those larger illustrations or paintings or whatever, you're then consciously looking for those same details, but just on a bigger scale, aren't you? So I think it has really, really did help to bring me on. And you join, the community, like the Topps card artist community, especially, and you talk to people, you see what other people do, or what did you use to do that, and I give that a go myself, and I'll have a bit of a fiddle, and think, oh, I quite like that. And that looks better than the ones I did last time. Oh, well, I'll keep doing that, and then practice and practice more, and then
that is one thing I would advise for anyone who wants to practice and get the skills up is sketch cards, because you have to do them. You haven't got a choice. You've got a deadline. You've got to just keep going. And like you say,
different
experiment and
it is different from working on a bigger sheet of paper or a bigger canvas. Working on something small, it does take a little bit of adaptation. Of what's really nice when it doesn't take you like a week to finish something.
yeah, that's it. And I think that like you say, with the deadlines and everything, and you are under a contract with these companies. And I know that there's some people who don't take that seriously enough, maybe. And I think maybe it's because I've got like that legal background that I'm aware that when I'm signing something that there's potentially a consequence to what I'm putting my name to. So I think, right, well, if there is a deadline and I've put my name down to say I'm not going to, share the work before the release date, or I'm not going to go off and start discussing my rate of pay with people publicly. I'm not going to bash the brand. Not that I would do those things, but you know, all of these sorts of things you just be very conscious of. So I think because I've been trained to work to deadlines, that I didn't really find it too much of a problem. But initially I was balancing the job that I had in law with doing sketch cards. So I would, you know, work sometimes, you know, 9 till 6, 9 till 7, come home, have something to eat, and then be up till 10 o'clock at night drawing. Just
No,
then
no,
all weekend. I don't either. I just now look at it and think, what were you doing? Really, woman, what were you doing?
I certainly, it's nice to hear your side of that too, and also not to bash companies or anything like that, because still it is an opportunity. We are given an opportunity. We're not given. There are opportunities for us if we want them to do things, even though it may not be quite the way we as artists might like it. There are things we might like done differently, or like a high pay rate. Oh my God, he's so cute. For listeners who can't see, there's a gorgeous cat on the screen right now. God, he's lovely.
It's a miserable one.
Oh,
But I do think, oh gosh, I do think it's maybe, I think it's maybe a positive thing that, you know, we're discussing all of these things with different people, and that new people who might want to be getting into it do realize you're not paid $100 a card or something. You know, the pay is low. However, you know, there are other good sides to it, you know, until we can get the pay rate a little better. But I mean, there are some good sides to it. So, you know, just to be aware that there are good and bad things to doing sketch cards in the publishing.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, with the top Star Wars cards, one of the things that that really I thought that would be cool to use at some point in the future is if you wanted to enter for a Celebration Art Show, because it makes you eligible because you've worked on the Lucasfilm license.
Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about the Celebration Art Show, because I don't know anything about it. I keep seeing it pop up, but I know nothing about it.
I mean, I've been, so Star Wars Celebration, for those who don't know, is the Star Wars official Lucasfilm event that's held every year, and has been for God knows how many years now. So it's basically the Comic Con of all Comic Cons for Star Wars fans. So in the past, you would have, you know, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, all the big actors, and typically what they would do is, especially when the new trilogy came out, they were announcing, you know, nearly every year there was always like, here's the trailer for the new movie, or here's a look at the actors who are going to be in the new movie, and all this sort of thing. And I was lucky enough to go to the Celebration event in London in 2016. I managed to get a ticket to go to that with one of my friends. It was really, really cool. You know, we get to sit and listen to panel talks. There was like Anthony Daniels and Warwick Davis doing a panel talk, and it was just, you know, we saw Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. Incidentally, that was only a few months before she died as well, and I've always regretted not meeting her.
Oh,
damn it.
oh.
Oh, Carrie Fisher was amazing.
Yeah, she was. So the Celebration Art Show is basically within that convention, they will select I think it's maybe, is it a dozen artists or something like that, who submit a piece of artwork, obviously based on Star Wars, and it's exhibited at the convention. The artists will sell the prints at the convention. I think it's published by Acme Archives at the moment. I think they've got
Yes, I think that's it.
that license, that part of the brand, let's say. Yeah, if you've got a, you know, if you're invited to do that, then it's a real honor. You know, and there's artists who frequently have gone back year after year. They're really popular. But if you want to enter that art show, you have to have created art for Lucasfilm in some capacity. So even, you know, the sketch cards that you do for Star Wars makes you eligible. to enter that competition. Doesn't mean you're going to get picked. It just means that you can have a go. And there are several artists who've been selected from the sketch card community to go on and do that. And there's people who've made a much bigger career with Lucasfilm out of it. Katie Cook, who's one who illustrates a lot of children's books for Star Wars. She's done really, really well out of it. So like Ingrid, like you said, there are opportunities there that present to you. And I think, like anything else, if you want to make the most out of it, then you will. I'm not saying that you're going to be a massive Star Wars artist or whatever it is, but you'll make the most of whatever that opportunity means for you. And if you don't want to bother with it, then just don't bother. It's it's what you want to make of it.
Yeah.
As you progress, you find that what you want for yourself can sometimes change as well. So in the beginning, you could be doing sketch cards to try and get on that show. Mm-hmm. But by the time you've been doing sketch cards for a bit, you might not want to do that anymore.
No.
Things chop and change, don't they? Different doors open.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, for me, I like doing sketch cards, but like you say, I've found other things in the art world that I've found that I enjoy as much or more.
Were you recently in a Printed in Blood book?
Yes, for Aliens, yeah.
Oh, Alien. Talk about that. Please tell us about that.
So Printed in Blood are a publisher. They have typically created art books for different movies. So I think the first one that they did was The Thing, which is like a bit of a cult, isn't it? And they've done a few since then. There was Stranger Things, the official Stranger Things art book, which I was in as well. They've done Halloween, Ghostbusters, Aliens. They've got a Bernie Wrightson book coming out, and a few others in the pipeline, which I don't think I'm allowed to mention. So I won't get into trouble with Steve over that. But yeah, so they're like coffee table books, aren't they? They're really gorgeous artwork. There's probably over 100 artists in each book, and you have to enter the process by submitting your work by a certain deadline. Again, you work into deadlines. And if you're chosen, then you're really lucky and you get in and you get to be part of something official, an official brand. Something maybe means a lot to you.
To complete anything in time to apply. I've always got my idea, and then before I know it, deadline's gone. And time.
Life happens, like things get in the way, and I've done it several times myself, Lindsay, where I thought I really, really want to do that, and then I went, I haven't got the time to do it. It's just melted away. Like you say.
Speaking of all these deadlines, what are you working on currently? Are you working on anything official? Or are you working on your own type of thing, or what are you doing?
At the minute, I'm winding down as I'm about 4 to 6 weeks away from my due date. So I'm winding down. I'm on the last, I think it's the last 5 commissions that are on my list, which I've been really, really painfully slowly working through because I've been not feeling the best.
Do you have any, you'll never really get your life back, believe me, but if you do you have any plans in the future for when you are able to claim some time again?
Yeah, I want to. I mean, I think maybe this would be the same for you guys, but I think it's like you don't, it's not like having a regular job where you think I'm going back to work on this date and I've got to be back at my desk or doing whatever it is that you'd be doing in that particular role. It's more like I want to go and draw something. I want to go and paint something. It's a bit of a need, isn't it, rather than having to go and do it. So, there's days where I think, oh, you know what, I just can't be bothered to go upstairs and draw anything today. And I believe you me, I've felt like that quite a lot because I've felt so tired and whatever else during this pregnancy. But I think that having a baby, I'll think, I need some time to myself. I need to go upstairs because I really want to go and just play around and stick some music on and whatever else
Yeah.
in the background and just zone out for an hour.
It helps when you have like a few different jobs on the go at the same time as well, because there's always something you can be bothered to do, whether it's looking for references or filling in a large area or details, or there's usually something you're in the mood for, so you can just, you know, keep pushing it on a little bit more. That's what I find anyway.
Definitely. And I've got about 3 or 4 things that I'm finished, like I'm finishing this off, and then you're kind of doing little bits on each one. It takes you, a couple of weeks just to kind of pull them all together. But official stuff, there'll be nothing, I don't think, until maybe the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year. It just depends. I'm going to have to just see how it goes, I think.
Which companies are you still going to keep working for once you get back into it, or do you think maybe?
Well, I've took a sabbatical from sketch cards anyway. I had already said I was going to do that.
I remember seeing that on Facebook. I believe you made it.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I need to look at other things. And more because I knew this was all in the pipeline. I thought I'm just not going to have the time and maybe the inclination to be able to do it. And I thought, right, well, I did masterwork for Star Wars last year, which I thought was a great set just to end on. That's a nice set just to kind of close it off. And will I go back to it? I don't know. We'll see. I did email the AD at Tops and say, just to let you know, I'm having a bit of a break and this is why. If, however, you did happen to do a Back to the Future set, then obviously whatever I've said, just forget it. Just put me down for 100 cards. All of the cards, can I just do?
Oh, bless.
Sure, yeah.
Is that your dream set then, Back to the Future?
Oh, if they did a Back to the Future set, because Tops did have the license for that way back in the day. They did, and I have asked and never really got an answer as to whether or not they would do another one. But I thought, oh, that's the perfect opportunity for like some sort of, there must be an anniversary of like whatever it is, 40 years must be coming up for that fairly soon in the next few years.
Yeah. It'll be something.
It should be. I think it was 1985 when it came out. Is that possible?
Well, there we are. Yeah,
Like
so I would be all over that if it was coming out. And I thought maybe I should just pitch it to Steve at Printed in Blood if he's watching this. Maybe Steve.
Steve, Back to the Future.
Steve.
Steve, listen. Yeah, Back to the Future is where it's at. Who wouldn't want to do a book of artwork on the trilogy?
Totally there.
Future's amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, pitching it and no one's listening to me. I'm like,
It's got a massive following. I think it'd do well, at least as well as Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Probably
Even more, I think, if you want my opinion of it.
yeah.
What are your favorite tools to use when you're creating any art? What is your preferred medium? Like when you have your own choice to do it, what's your preferred medium?
Either. I like using acrylic gouache with colored pencil. I think that gives a nice effect.
acrylic gouache.
Yeah.
Is that a different thing, acrylic gouache?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's the cross between, believe it or not, acrylics and gouache.
I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, I think it's just got that. It has got that quality of being able to water it down like you would with a watercolor, but it builds the color like you would get with an acrylic paint. So you can build the intensity of the colors. If you watch Alex Ross's YouTube, and he paints everything in acrylic gouache and his stuff. He's just amazing to watch.
I'm going to check that out.
So go and have a look and watch him.
Yeah.
I watched him paint a Spider-Man illustration in acrylic gouache, and it was just really, really lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alex Ross. Did
Sorry?
you say Alex Ross?
Yeah.
I've got a geek clay print of his that someone bought me years and years ago.
As you
Batman
speak.
descending over Gotham. It's signed.
It
God
worked
knows how
before.
much it was. But I didn't have a glass front on it, so it's gone all bumpy, you know, the print.
Oh no.
So I'd have to go in and like try and cover the cracks up and stuff, which is a shame. But yeah, no, is that what he uses? I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, I mean, he may very well do digital work as well, for all I know, but he definitely uses acrylic gouache and inks. So that's
I'd have
quite.
to play with that.
Yeah. But I like using acrylics and oil paints as well. So I had to pack in with the oil paints recently because the fumes are not really great for ladies. And
That's why I have kind of put oils on the side a little bit. I have a bit of asthma, and the fumes tend to kind of aggravate that a little bit, which makes me sad. And the water-based oils are really cool, but they don't have the same texture, I find. It's just not quite the same.
I was using the Sennelier oils, which are really, really buttery and really nice.
They're so nice. I love those.
Really, really nice. So I was using those, but you know, they're like, you know, proper oil paints. You need, you know, the spirits to really dilute.
It's complicated. You need the spirits to clean the brushes. You need special stuff to mix the paint. Aside from the fact that a tube of paint is like $30 or something, but okay, they're expensive, but it is like the best texture of all of them. I think they also make some acrylic paint actually, which I like a lot.
Nice oil pastels and things as well, don't they? So
I used
to really like doing charcoal and oil pastels and things like that. So maybe I'll have a bit of a faff on with those and I come back into it after the baby's born.
Didn't you work with color pencil as well for a while?
Yeah, I used to. When I first started doing sketch cards, I only used coloured pencil, and then I got into the Copic markers with a bit of pencil as well, which were really nice. And it would build, so I'd be like, right, pencil only, then I'll add some Copic, and then I'll put the coloured pencil on top of the Copic. And then I started doing like a bit of acrylic gouache, so I had like 3 different things going on with the same card, and I thought, this is just getting ridiculous. For like
mixed media.
Yeah, mixed media.
It's awesome.
So, airbrushing, I quite like a bit of airbrushing. I've used that.
Oh, have you done that?
A little bit, yeah. Don't mind it. Bit of fact, but it's the thing I don't like, and I say this, I really love the effect, but it's the amount of work it takes to clean the thing out.
I was gonna say, I don't know, but please don't let me talk too much here, but the amount of the mediums that I personally like to use are the ones that have the least amount of preparation, the least amount of upkeep, the least amount of cleaning, the least amount of mess, just the least, you know.
Yeah.
I don't use charcoals. With it all over my face instead.
Yeah, but I do like a bit of charcoal. That was what started me off when I did those Wizard of Oz portraits. They were all done in charcoal, and I really like that sort of dark sort of style of stuff. You know, a very dark background with like a lit face, or like, you know, whatever it is. That's kind of where my stuff tends to.
Dramatic.
Yeah, I like a bit of that.
Yeah, drama is necessary. What do you think? What do you think about where the world is at now? Like, we're coming, hopefully, to the end of the pandemic, or at least to another stage. You know, whatever happens, I don't know, but let's just imagine that it's coming to an end. The world of art has been changing for many, many years, of course. What do you think the future of art might hold? In the terms of like digital, do you think traditional is going to go like completely the way of TV or something? I don't know. I think
traditional is too much fun for people to create, to be honest with you. I think there'll always be a need for people to want traditional art, even if it's just that, you know, it's for their home, or you know, for comics or whatever it is, because there are still traditional artists. Mentioned Alex Rossi is a really good example of somebody who still works in traditional media, and he's like, you know, top of the game. So if he's doing it, I think, well, that must be all right for me then. Somewhere down that way.
They'll always appreciate hand-drawn art as well, won't they? I mean, they're always happier with a piece of real art than a print. So
yeah.
I think they'll always be around, won't it?
Yeah, and I think you know, one of the things that I really like to do is just sit and just, you know, just a graphite pencil and a bit of paper and just draw, you know, do a portrait of somebody. I was started doing these little series on a Sunday. It was like British comedians. I don't know if you can remember. I did like comedy stuff. So I did like a Matt Lucas, and there was some older comedy stuff. And I thought, I've really got to get back into that. So that's something else that's kind of at the back of my mind. I'm kind of like,
I love that idea though, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Sunday series, you call it your Sunday series.
Some
You know
series.
what day it comes out?
I haven't thought about that too much, but yeah, like, you know, just to have a little simple graphite sketch. It's not finished. It's, you know, fairly loose. Takes you, you know, what, an hour and a half to draw out whatever it is, and you think, oh, you know, I like that. And it's not, you know, OCD of I'll do it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Pencil.
There's a lot of people who really love quick sketches as well, aren't they? I've got friends who prefer to collect sketches than finished artwork.
Yeah.
So even if you haven't got a lot of time, you can still create, like you say.
Right.
Yeah.
There are a
Right.
surprising number of collectors that actually truly enjoy sketches, be it just sketch cards or sketch drawings or what. There are a surprising number of collectors who actually really enjoy that, which as someone who tries to create a living out of art is very encouraging to know. Do you find, Carolyn, that it's difficult to make a living in art, seeing as you kind of changed careers? Or is this something that you don't think about?
I mean, to be honest with you, I thought when I was in that transitional period of finishing the law career and then going into art, and I sort of thought, right, the month before I finish my legal career, I'm going to just put it out there that I'm starting up full time in art from this date. I forget what it was now, March last year or something. And I'll just say, you know, if you want a commission, then just let me know. And it went absolutely mental. I thought, oh, what have I done here? What have I done? And it was, I was like, well, I've got to just put the brakes in it a little bit, because I got too much. There was far too much going on. It was all during COVID and everything. Obviously, all this happened. And I thought, well, I need to, like, I can't do anymore. So I've had my books closed for quite a while.
Okay.
Because I just can't you know, cope with all that. But I think if you're just going to do sketch cards and you're just going to make a living off sketch cards, then that's very difficult to do.
You have to non-stop work, don't you?
Yeah, and it's I find that would be very self-limiting in terms of other things that I would want to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I'm wanting to work in illustration for books, or I'm wanting to do, you know, larger canvas pieces, or I'm wanting to do something totally away from pop culture, and I think, you know, because that's been at the back of my mind, maybe I fancy doing that in the future. And yeah, you can't do it if you're just doing sketch cards every single day.
No, you cannot. Been there, done that. You can't. No. There comes a point you really got to say, and well, yeah. Well, I won't go into that. I won't stop talking if I start talking about that. But yeah, I think you're right, Karen.
Yeah, but going back to your question, Ingrid, about the future of art and things, and, you know, digital stuff. You know, that's something else that I've dabbled in a little bit, not as much as what I would like to. But all, you know, the NFT stuff that's out there now, and I know there's a real dichotomy of opinion over.
Oh,
know,
if
yeah,
you,
either
if someone can explain NFTs to me, it would, I for one would be extremely grateful to know. I have a difficult time getting my head around it. And it seems like it's something we're gonna have to learn about one way or another, whether we agree with it, like it or not.
right. And you know, whatever people's reasons are for investing in NFTs, and whether they agree with it, like it, or whatever, then they're here. That's the fact.
Is it something you're going to look into?
I've thought about it, and I thought, oh, I don't know whether I'm kind of in a different headspace at the moment. So I think when I come back, this time I've got off. Calling it my time off. It's not, because I'll be quite busy.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, you know, I need to like work on my branding. I need to have a website. I need to be doing all of these things. And digital art is one of the things that I've kind of had penciled in for quite a while, and I am conscious that I really need to get on board with it. But
I just got myself one of these things because I'd like to get up to date. It's an iPad.
oh, right, okay.
Trying to stay up to date with it and with the technology and all of that, and to draw on this thing, it's like unbelievably eye-opening. You can actually draw on these things.
Yeah. Do you use Procreate? Have you got the Procreate?
I'm learning how to use it. Yes,
It's really
absolutely.
good.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, I've got it on mine, and I've used it for sketch. I mean, primarily for sketching out ideas. So if I'm doing, because the beauty of it is, if you make a mistake, you can just erase it and then start again without wasting paper or whatever else.
Exactly.
So, you know, with say comic covers, I'm going to do a comic cover for somebody. I might say, right, well, there's the comic cover. Load the image into Procreate, sketch out on the digitally, and say that's kind of where I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And you know, you've given someone a digital example of what you're looking at. But I've used it for editing pictures that I've, you know, if I've done a painting and I want to put it into a print, I might clean the edges up in Procreate, because you know what it's like when you're drawing stuff, the white background that you might leave in might get a little bit grubby. So I'll clean it up and then scan it in as a print. It's all nice and crisp.
Yes. So do you think embracing technology is a good idea, or should we be cautious about it?
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, it's I mean, there's some really great digital art out there. I don't think it takes away from you know, from the skill that's needed to do that. It's just a matter of learning a different skill. It's like, you know, somebody might just work in paint all the time, and then somebody else might not have a clue about using paint. They might just use ink and whatever else, and then digital's just another strand. I mean, look at all the animated movies that we watch. All of that is digital, and everyone loves it. So you know, we need to, you know, whatever floats your boat, get on board with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Lindsay, did you have anything you wanted to ask? We're going to slowly coming to the end of this particular episode. Any questions, Lindsay?
I don't think my connection's working fantastically.
Okay.
I don't know how it is on your end.
There does seem
but
to be
you all
a bit
keep
of a pixelation thing happening. Yeah. You're breaking up, actually. Yeah. Okay. Well, Carolyn.
So I think I'm going to leave it for questions.
Okay. Carolyn, is there anything you'd like to say to end this out? Before you do that, I'd just like to say huge thank you for coming on board and being our first victim, and I hope it hasn't been too painful for you. I wish you the best with the new family.
Thank you.
Do you have any lasting words, any final words before?
The only thing I would say is, if anybody is interested in looking at any of my work,
Yes, please. Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, so that's CJC_artist, and I'm also on Twitter, which is CarrieJC1983, and I'm also on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook under my own name. So yeah, just let me know if anyone's interested in anything. Obviously, at the minute, I'm I'm in a bit of a funny. I feel like people say, "Oh, can you do this for me?" And I've had to like say to people, "I'm really sorry. I've got things happening in the next." Well, I'm not quite sure when it is. It's 4 to 6 weeks, so can't promise you that I'm going to get anything done. So I defer to other people.
Well, I wish you the easiest of transitions into family life and all of that.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show as well. It's been great.
Sure, you're going to let us all know, aren't you? When
Yeah,
baby,
of course,
so we can all get excited.
Yeah, of course I will. I'll let you. Fingers crossed. Everything.
It would have been really easy to talk for another 2 hours, but well, we will have to let it go. Maybe we can have you back again.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, without a baby.
Yeah,
That one,
later down the road.
you'll have a baby in one arm, Persian in the other.
That's my life from now on, I feel.
Oh, well, as a mother of 2 adults, it never really you know, yeah, kids are mother once, mother forever kind of thing, but of course it changes, kind of like our art careers. It just goes from one thing to another and stuff like that. Well, thank you again, Carolyn. Thank you for having broken the ice with the Penciled In podcast. Thank you very much, and
Yes.
look forward to hearing how it goes with you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye.